Hey, everyone comes to talk. Welcome. Oh boy. So Ron DeSantis. Now we got to talk about this, and this is the beginning of the end of the DeSantis campaign. Although I think the beginning of the end of the DeSantis campaign really is when this idiot announced that he was running against the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. But DeSantis has canceled NBC, and that's not just an NBC. That is, in particular, that is Meet the Press. He was going to be on Meet the Press. He canceled Meet the Press. So DeSantis cancels NBC, Meet the Press, and CNN appearances Sunday over scheduling issue ahead of New Hampshire primary. This to me is the beginning of him making the move to make the announcement to officially drop out of the race. And this is something that this Governor DeSantis, I think I was right the first time, he's my governor, can you imagine? This is something he should have done before it even began. And what has happened with Ron DeSantis is really a sad, disgusting story, because Ron DeSantis was the golden boy. The golden boy. Not like the fake Russia dossier golden. He was all set to be the second MAGA president. In fact, let me see if I still have this. Hold on. Let me see if I kept this. Hold on. I do have it. This is an old hat that I thought I threw away, but I kept it on my hat rack, buried under a bunch of other hats. It wasn't that long ago, people were talking about DeSantis being Trump's running mate. Remember that? And being the vice president. And they even had these hats made, Trump DeSantis 24, Make America Florida. Remember that? It wasn't that long ago. And people were talking about him. I know, this is, oh boy. Whew. Boy, oh boy, that might be the last one in existence. Those days are over. When he came out and betrayed Trump, betrayed MAGA, and started running against Trump, that was the end of it. That was the end of it. He was all set to be the second MAGA president in 2028. It was done. And then what happened? What happened? Well, what happened to Ron DeSantis as he's about to make this announcement, which I'll get into a little deeper in a few minutes, but I just want to give a little backstory to this idiot. This is what happened to him. And I've seen this happen to guys in the business world and the professional world, and maybe some of you have too. Walmart Melania, his wife, got into his head. And I knew there was trouble with DeSantis before he announced he was running for president. And I'll tell you what that was. I watched on television his second inauguration as governor, because it was on TV here in Florida, and it was in the news, and I saw it, and he had Jeb Bush standing behind him on the stage. And my first thought is, what is Jeb Bush doing there? Now, Jeb Bush was our governor in Florida for 8 years. He was elected in 1998. But he's not the kind of guy to be hanging around with MAGA people. And I remember watching that with my wife, and I said, uh-oh, something's going on. And Ron DeSantis was very popular here in Florida when he was pretending to be MAGA. He was like Donnie Brasco, deep cover, fake MAGA. No one knew it at the time. President Trump didn't know it. That's why he endorsed him for governor. And Ron DeSantis was doing appearances every day with speeches and press conferences somewhere in Florida. And when he did, everybody in the room went nuts. I was at an event with him before he announced when he was running for re-election, and everyone went nuts when he walked in. So his ego exploded. His wife wants fame and fortune. Remember, Ron DeSantis does not own a car. And he does not own a house. He's not a wealthy man. He made $1.5 million from his book, but I don't know how much of that's left. And between his wife, he had Jeb whispering in his ear, and his wife had Jeb's wife, Columba, whispering in her ear. And all these never-Trumpers tried to tell him he was this superstar who turned Miami red, which is not true. Trump turned Miami red. not DeSantis, and he didn't realize he was on Trump's coattails, and he went and self-destructed. So canceling Meet the Press and his CNN appearances on Sunday, he's got a BS excuse that there was a traveling conflict. Let me go through. This is from Fox News, and we'll talk about this. Oh, I guess they just have the headline and they have a story here. But the story, I'm not going to play the video of it, but the story is that he had to fly to New Hampshire, and there was a scheduling conflict between his flight and these appearances. Well, that's complete BS, all right? That is 100% BS. First of all, I would be shocked if he was flying commercial. But even if he was, they have multiple flights that go to New Hampshire. And so this is the beginning. Now, here's the question. Here's the question. When he drops out, there are three things that Ron DeSantis can do. And this is what I want to ask you guys. You can let me know in the live chat. If you're not watching live, you can let me know in the comments. Or if you're watching live, you can call me live on the air. The call-in number, if you're watching live, is pinned to the top of the live chat. That's a toll-free number, no matter where you are calling from, okay? So there's three things that Ron DeSantis can do when he officially drops out. One, he could just announce he's dropping out and come back to Florida and try to be governor again because he's abandoned us here in Florida. There's a lot of problems in Florida, some big problems that I've talked about a lot on this program that I'm not going to get sidetracked today on, but there's a lot of problems here in Florida that he's been ignoring because he's left us, been away for a year. So his first option is announce he drops out and he's coming back to Florida and to be governor again. The second thing he could do, and this would be just, he really has no good options. He's self-destructed he's unelectable forever. I said this when he first announced. Ron DeSantis is unelectable forever. His second option is endorsing Nikki Haley and get on the Titanic with that, with the promise that maybe there'll be some payoff down the road because Ron DeSantis is in his second term as governor of Florida, and we have term limits. He can't be governor after this. So, and being unelectable forever and having burned all the donors and everything, he could not even get reelected in his House district if he went to run for the House. So he's got to be thinking about what am I going to do to support Walmart Melania and my family when I'm out of the governor's office. So he might try to work out some deal with the Bushes if they're still talking to him, if they haven't blocked his number yet on their cell phones, buying a Nikki Haley endorsement. The third thing he could do is drop out and announce that he's endorsing Donald Trump. Those are the three options. Which do you think he would do? I don't think his endorsement is worth anything. This coffee right here is worth more than his endorsement. When I've finished the coffee, it's worth more than his endorsement. And this really is Ron DeSantis is a story of having lost everything. When he had the 2028 second MAGA nomination wrapped up, he blew it. So which of those options, and if there's more than three, if there's an option that I have not thought of, I certainly would welcome you to let me know what a fourth or fifth option would be. But those are the three main options. Come back to Florida and be governor and endorse no one. Endorse Nikki Haley with the hope of some payoff. Or endorse Trump, which how could you trust him? And Vivek, when he dropped out, he'd endorsed Trump, and that means something. And Vivek Ramaswamy is so popular with young people that Vivek, teaming up with the great Charlie Kirk at Turning Point, can do a lot this year to rally young people to vote for the greatest president ever, Donald Trump. Ron DeSantis, if anybody likes him anymore, it's never Trumpers he has his endorsement means nothing. In fact, his endorsement really has an opposite effect. I would think it would rally people against him even more. How would you trust Ron DeSantis? He cannot be trusted. So that's it. I mean, his political life is over. He is unelectable forever. His endorsement is meaningless. And he's not the great governor that people think that he is. And I know that because he's my governor. I live here in Florida, just like President Trump. So those are his options, and it could not happen to me. So if it's true that he's going to New Hampshire, is he going to New Hampshire to join forces with Nikki Haley? Joining that sinking ship? Now, did you all catch President Trump's speech last night? I was watching it on Right Side. The one in Manchester, New Hampshire. Oh, man. That was a great rally last night, and all of it was just spectacular, and it was devastating to Nikki Haley. Devastating. And one part of it that was incredibly devastating to Nikki Haley is, on Friday in New Hampshire, President Trump brought up Senator Tim Scott. And Tim Scott, who was originally appointed by Hillary Haley. You like that name? Hillary Haley. I saw one of the speakers before President Trump came out in New Hampshire call her Hillary Haley. I don't know if her campaign's going to be around long enough for that to catch on. But Hillary Haley, I like that. But Nikki Haley, so Friday, the senator that she originally appointed, Tim Scott, came out and endorsed President Trump. I played that on yesterday's stream. And then last night in Manchester, New Hampshire, President Trump brought out the governor, the lieutenant governor, and a whole bunch of other people that are senior South Carolina office holders right now, and they all came out and endorsed him. And this is devastating. Let me play this part. This is just absolutely amazing.
So, it is my honor to call on stage from South Carolina, Governor Henry McMaster, one of the best governors in the country.
Absolutely.
Come on up, Henry. We'll be there in 3 weeks. So we're going to be there in 3 weeks, so you know what I'm doing? I'm kissing ass. I'm kissing ass.
That's right.
Lieutenant Governor Pamela Abbott. She's fantastic.
Governor, Lieutenant Governor.
Attorney General Alan Wilson just won a very big case, by the way. Big case, Alan. South Carolina House Speaker Merle Smith.
Now, of course, these people. This is the whole leadership of South Carolina, including Nikki Haley's governor there.
South Carolina Treasurer Curtis Loftus. Thank you very much. Thank you, Curtis. Congressman Joe Wilson. Do you remember Joe Wilson? Do you remember? You're lying, he said. You're lying.
I mean, now this is devastating, and you got to remember, not only is this the entire leadership of South Carolina, the governor is the headliner with this. This guy was Nikki's lieutenant governor. So, I mean, this is like having your family and your coworkers come up on stage and saying you are unfit and endorsing your opponent.
Because that's a believer. He's great. That made him very popular, actually. It caused a little turmoil, but it made him very popular. He's great. Congressman William Timmons. William, thank you. And a friend of mine, an incredible political figure. He's really taken politics by storm, Congressman Russell Fry. Hey, Russell, I'm going to ask you, if you would, wherever the hell you are, to say a couple of words, and then a couple of others. We're going to get this done real quick, but we have to be really good to South Carolina because we have to win big. We're only up in the last poll by 60 points. 6-0. That's pretty good. She was the governor, and we're up by 60.
Okay, now, and I'm going to play this portion of this from yesterday. By the way, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. You'll love my content. This is where MAGA comes to talk. My name's Brian Craig. Now, I would imagine Nikki Haley, if Nikki Haley has any sense of self-awareness, this would make a normal person that has reality in front of them, even in the slightest, physically ill. And you'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm done. I'm absolutely done.
So, Russell, why don't you start? Go ahead. Thank you, Ed. Hello, New Hampshire. How we doing? Man. Joe Biden heard that from his basement in Delaware, I think. That was so loud.
It is an honor to be here in New Hampshire. I got to tell you, the first time that I ever stood on stage with President Trump was 2 years ago in South Carolina. It was 20 degrees. That was pretty cold. Not like New Hampshire cold, but cold. And what was amazing to me is we stood there and thousands of people, much like today, came out to support Donald Trump again for President of the United States. Are y'all ready for Donald Trump? So my name is Russell Fry, Congressman from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Who's ever been to Myrtle Beach?
I mean, this is amazing. I mean, the entire Republican leadership of South Carolina is here, and Nikki Haley is somewhere else in New Hampshire. I don't know, probably thinking like, what did I do? She's got it. You know, she had the Daily Mail. We got a second affair she had. 2 men she had sex with while she was married to her husband that she wasn't married with. Right, so we got all these affairs on Friday. We've got the Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina, and now we got the whole leadership.
Who wants to go to Myrtle Beach right now? All right. So I came all the way to New Hampshire because I have one question, actually two.
It's a good one.
Is this Nikki Haley country? Or is this Donald Trump country?
Yeah. Look at that crowd. My goodness. Look at that crowd. Massive.
That right there is the power of the America First movement, and there are so many South Carolinians here. We could be in our home state. It's a little bit warmer right now, but we chose to come up to New Hampshire for a reason. There's a reason why President Trump in South Carolina, in the Governor Haley's former state, well, she has 14 endorsements compared to Donald Trump's 100.
Wow. And that, by the way, those endorsements are South Carolina endorsements. She has 14 endorsements in South Carolina, and President Trump has 100.
So, do we want somebody who's controlled by the big donors and the Wall Street special interests?
No.
Or we want someone who fights every single day for hardworking Americans?
Yes.
Do we want somebody who flip-flops on every position?
No.
Or do we want somebody like Donald Trump who keeps his word?
Oh man, this is beautiful. And look at the president's face back there, just grinning and filled with pride. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning to you.
Oh, hey Richie, you feeling better today? This is great. Oh man, Trump smoked Nikki last night.
Here's the deal with all of this, okay?
This is beautiful.
And she knows she's dead in the water. Trump knows she's dead in the water. The state of South Carolina knows she's dead in the water. But she is a useful idiot to NBC, MSNBC, CNN. You know how I told you every time you look on the Sunday shows, you're going to see her popping up attacking Trump. They're using her. She's building up a resume so she can get job on
Richie, she is going through the biggest humiliation. She had the affairs come out again and on Friday. She had her own senator that she appointed come out and endorse Trump in New Hampshire yesterday. Yesterday she threw out 2 major members of the media, someone from the Spectator and the Daily Mail, out of her campaign events. She threw Loomer out of an event last night. So she threw 3 journalists out of events yesterday. And then President Trump comes up with the entire Republican leadership of South Carolina, including her former lieutenant governor who worked with her, who's now the governor and endorses Trump. So, I mean, this is her career's over. You haven't seen her lately.
Her career is over as a politician.
I don't think she realizes it. I saw her yesterday driving around with Governor Sununu. By the way, thanks for the call. In his Mustang, and she did not look like she knows she lost it. Oh boy, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike, be quick because I want to get back to these endorsements that President Trump got last night.
That's just about the entire leadership, Republican leadership of South Carolina.
That's it. It's all of it. Well.
Nancy Mace, she has her own problems. She's got a traitor that betrayed her.
I don't want to talk about Nancy Mace. I want to talk about Trump.
Yeah, but these guys. I mean, how is she dealing? How is Nikki Haley dealing with this stuff? That's the entire
Not well. You know, I might show the video later. I saw her driving around with Governor Sununu in his Mustang last night, alone in the car, and I'm thinking, where is Mrs. Sununu? You know, I don't know how many ladies that are watching would allow your husband to drive around in a Mustang with Nikki Haley, who sleeps with married men. Thanks for your call, Mike from Louisiana. I want to get back to this. So these are this is the leadership of South Carolina. This is one of the congressmen.
And this is interesting because we lived it in South Carolina, but do we want somebody who caves to the Chinese Communist Party, gives them land and calls them a friend? Or do we want somebody like Donald Trump who they fear? And lastly, do we want somebody who's soft on immigration? Or do we want somebody who can secure the border, build the wall, and bring back our rule of law? Well, pretty clear with this crowd. They want Donald Trump back in the White House. So you got a task ahead of you. Tuesday's a big day. And like the president just said, if somebody's sick, if it's too cold, look, Iowa just voted in record numbers. Despite 3 feet of snow or whatever it was.
That's right.
We get a dusting in South Carolina and the whole state shuts down. So it is so important to get out there and vote. Because it is time for us to fight for this man like he has fought for us. Are y'all ready for that challenge?
I like this guy. He's good.
We need a leader who can turn this country around. President Trump has done it once, and I know that he can do it again. So on Tuesday, let's take that next step. The next step to retire the mumbling, bumbling, mentally deluded occupant of the White House out and put this man back in as the 47th President of the United States. Thank you.
Oh man, that's the first one. I mean, this is, guys, this is as devastating as it can be. You know, when you are running for president and you're in the primaries like Nikki Haley, and you know you were the twice elected governor of a state, no matter what state it is, and your opponent is up there with the entire leadership. He's got the endorsement of the senator that you appointed to your state. He's got the endorsement of the governor, who was your lieutenant governor, and he's got a lot of other leadership up here too that I'm going to play. That's devastating. I mean, this is devastating. This is Nikki Haley's very own family saying, "Don't vote for this family member of ours. Don't vote for our hometown girl. We know her. We know Nikki Haley, and you don't want to vote for her. You want to vote for Donald Trump."
Way to go, New Hampshire!
Now, this is the lieutenant governor, I believe, of South Carolina.
Are we coming out for Trump on Tuesday or what? Are we going to take 10, 15 people to the voting booths with us? Are we going to do that? We need to do that because we have an open border. I'm here today not just because I'm the lieutenant governor of South Carolina, because I have believed in President Trump since 2015.
That's right.
President Trump made our country safer and everybody prospered. Now our borders are open. We need to bring him back. Do we need to bring him back? Bring him back. If we want our borders closed, we need to do what? Bring him back. If we want to become energy independent again, what are we going to do?
Bring him back.
If we want to make sure that we take care of our veterans, our seniors, and our law enforcement, what are we going to do?
Bring him back.
You know, everybody likes to talk about Donald Trump's policies and they want to take credit for them. But when this man was born, God broke the mold. And you cannot have President Trump policies without President Trump. Thank you so much, New Hampshire. Let's close this on Tuesday.
You know, this is one of the most devastating, you know what this is like? This is beautiful. What's happening right here with the entire leadership of South Carolina, Lieutenant Governor, you know, and there's more. We'll play it all. This is like during the first campaign when President Trump had that press conference with all the victims of Bill Clinton right before the debate with Hillary, Paula Jones, Juanita Broderick. Remember all of that? Kathleen Willey and all that was like, remember that? That was beautiful. This is like that moment. It's a massive moment, and I got to tell you, what a normal person would do, if Nikki Haley were a normal person, she would drop out this morning. She'd drop out this morning and say, it's hopeless. My own family, that's what these people are saying. They know me. Don't vote for me. Vote for Trump. It's over. That's what she should do, but she's twisted. Oh, boy. That was the Lieutenant Governor of South Carolina.
Hello, New Hampshire. I love your motto, live free or die. Do we feel like we've been living free for the last 4 years? Well, there's a way we can fix that, and that is to elect Donald Trump as the next president of the United States. My name is Merle Smith. I'm the Speaker of the South Carolina House.
Oh, my goodness. We got a congressman. We got the one of the senators from South Carolina. We got a House member from South Carolina. We got the Lieutenant Governor of South Carolina. Now we got the Speaker of the South Carolina House saying, we know Nikki Haley. We worked with Nikki Haley. She's terrible. She can't be trusted. She's on the take of the donors and the military-industrial complex, and she stands for nothing. Vote for Donald Trump. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
I served with Nikki Haley in the General Assembly.
See?
I held a fundraiser for her when she ran for governor at my home.
Oh, my. At his
But
home?
I can tell you right now, I, as well as a majority of my colleagues in the leadership of the South Carolina House of Representatives and members, are supporting Donald Trump.
Oh, my God. Nikki Haley, he had a fundraiser in his house for Nikki Haley. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. I wonder if she came on tonight.
And let me tell you why. Because this man created one of the most robust economies in our lifetime 4 years ago. He is someone that does not need on-the-job training. He is someone that knows how to make this country great again. And so I would ask you for one thing. You are in a unique position. You are in a sacred position right now, because Tuesday you can come out and vote and have Donald Trump win this primary overwhelming and send a message to the Republican Party in this state. And I tell you this, if you do that and you win by a big margin here, we'll finish the job in South Carolina. So thank you. God bless you. Vote Donald Trump.
Oh, my God. Vote Donald Trump. Nikki Haley was at my house as a guest. I had a fundraiser. Vote for Donald Trump. I know Nikki Haley. Don't vote for Nikki Haley. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. This is, what do you think? Do you think Nikki Haley saw this? Do you think she was watching on Right Side? Or Newsmax, maybe? By the way, where can I get that jacket? I like that jacket. Okay, now this is the best. This is the governor of South Carolina, who was Nikki Haley's lieutenant governor. Oh, my goodness.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm the last one of us that's going to speak. I'll be very brief. Y'all know what the plural of y'all is? All y'all.
Oh, y'all.
Well, I want to tell all y'all why we all are here. I don't know if you noticed, but all the statewide elected officials in South Carolina, we call them constitutional officers, are for Trump. Except one, she's a rookie and she'll figure it out before long. our 2 U.S. senators and the vast majority of the people of South Carolina want Donald Trump. So that's why we are here. We are here for one reason. We're here for one reason. You've heard those great philosophers, the Spice Girls. Tell us what you want, what you really, really want. Well, that's what we're here to do, to tell you what we in South Carolina want, what we really, really want. And there he is, right there. I got more.
I don't know, this guy, this could be Trump's run. Would you be okay if he was Trump's running mate? I like this guy. He's awesome. Now he's telling Trump, I got a little bit more. I got a little bit more. Look at President Trump's face.
All right, I got 4 short reasons.
Oh, man.
We want Donald Trump. Why? To protect our borders, return the illegals, and build a wall. That's reason number 1. Reason number 2, get the woke out of our military and get the woke out of our military and put the fight back in. Reason number 3 or 4, put common sense conservatives judges in the courts to restore the rule of law and the Constitution. And finally, to tell our enemies abroad that America is standing back up and it's time for them to sit back down. New Hampshire is for Trump. South Carolina is too. We'll see you at the finish line.
Oh! Look at that. Look at that. Thank you, Trump.
Well, thank you very much, South Carolina Governor. Thank you very much.
Oh, man. That does. I mean, Nikki Haley, it's done. That's it. Now, let me know in the comments or in the live chat, and I'll open up the phones again if you'd like to call in, because I wanted to get through that. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. I mean, do you think Nikki Haley saw that? And what does she tell herself? You know, does Nikki Haley tell herself, I effed up? I shouldn't have done this? Or have they given her so much money that she doesn't care? I don't know. But I will tell you this. That right there will go down in history as the second biggest moment of Trump's campaigns. As I said at the beginning of this, that South Carolina leadership from the governor on down is the equivalent to when the great Steve Bannon in the first campaign brought all the Clinton accusers and had that press conference with Trump. Juanita Broderick, Paula Jones, Kathleen Willey, and the rest. That was insane. And that is as close to that as I've ever seen. Never seen something like that. And it's absolutely amazing. And you can tell that the people of this country are fed up. They're fed up with the Democrats. They're fed up with all this crap that's going on from the Republican establishment. And then this is DeSantis. Now, as I started the stream, Ron DeSantis canceled Meet the Press today. Canceled Meet the Press. Don't trust guys. And by the way, why is he running around with his name on his chest all the time still? You know, he's been running long enough. You know, a lot of times state officials, if you go to political events, will have their names, you know, name tags and things on so people know who they are. This guy's been running around, running for president all year, and he's still got his name on his chest. I mean, it looks ridiculous, but listen to this.
Governor, what's the end goal here in South Carolina? Is there a district you think you could win here?
Okay, the reporter said, because their mic's a little low, is there an end game? Hey, caller, hold on. Let me play this clip. The reporter asked DeSantis, is there an end game? Is there a county you can win in South Carolina?
Governor, what's the end goal here in South Carolina? Is there a district you think you could win here?
Look, I'm not a political pundit. I
Wow.
mean, we're here. You saw the folks. We get great reception.
Is there a single district you can win? Hey, I'm not a political pundit. He couldn't even say yes to that. And you could see it in his face. He feels it's over. Hey, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Montana Mark.
Hey, Mark. Oh, man, just devastating for Nikki Haley, huh?
Yeah, that was a great rally last night.
That was the best.
The rally on Friday when you saw Trump, Tim Scott standing together, those are two big guys. And listening to those two talk, you could feel security for America.
Yeah.
But you know, that was awesome. Trump had all the government of South Carolina get up on the stage.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Anyway, thanks for doing
I
a good job.
I appreciate the call, Mark. Take care. Yeah, if you'd like to call in, if you're watching live, you can call in. It's toll free no matter where you're watching. The number to call in live is toll free, and it's pinned right to the top of the chat, okay? Now, this, I was referencing this earlier. This is Governor Sununu, the governor of New Hampshire, who's backed by the Bushes. He's in his super cool convertible Mustang, and he's driving around with Nikki Haley. See her? Okay, now, see? Look at her grinning ear to ear. Now, where's Mrs. Sununu? And I want to ask you guys this. In particular, those of you out there that are married women. A story on Friday comes out that a married woman that your husband is working with has sex with married men. I talked about that on the stream yesterday, right? We had two men came forward that said they had an extramarital affair with Nikki Haley. One guy of them was married. His marriage ended in divorce. Would you let your husband drive around in a super cool convertible Mustang at night with a homewrecker like that? I know not only would my wife not appreciate it, it would be disrespectful to your wife, and the governor here is disrespecting Mrs. Sununu. He's married, right? I'm assuming he's married. But I'll tell you another thing. I wouldn't disrespect my wife by driving around with a homewrecker that has sex with married men like this. On television, too. I mean, this is sick. And why is Nikki so happy with all this terrible stuff going on? Wait, are these windows fogged up? I can't tell. Are these I didn't notice this before. Is this window fogged up? Why is the window fogged up, Governor? Why is the window you're in a car alone with a woman who sleeps with married men, Nikki Haley, and she enjoys sex in cars too from the alley. And you're not only are you driving around with her without your wife, but the windows are fogged up. My wife would kick my ass. And you know what? I deserve it. She should. Why are the windows fogged up? Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Do you see any handprints or feet prints or anything? I don't know. Let's go back. Yeah, they are. It is fogged up. You can tell the window's fogged up. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Governor Sununu. That's a big no-no, man. You shouldn't be doing that. And then Haley, she's just... Oh, my goodness. I don't know. Window was pretty fogged up to me. Mm-hmm. How good does the heat and everything work? What year is that? That's a 60-something Mustang. I don't know what year that is. But, oh, my goodness. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'm Brian Craig, and I live stream 7 days a week, always taking live calls while I'm live streaming. And I also upload a lot of other content here, including my podcast, the Brian Craig Show podcast that I co-host with my wife. I upload here on my YouTube channel as well. William Livingston, $5 super chat. Thank you. He says, I'm not dropping out of the race because there's too much money to be made, written by Nikki Haley. Is there money to be made? I mean, her and DeSantis, are they worth anything? That's a 65 Mustang. Okay. Well, I don't know. I just know that you got a homewrecker that has sex with married men in a car with a married man without his wife. They pulled up. It's on a Saturday night, date night, and the windows are fogged up. That's all I know. And it's just, it shows you how, Richie called at the beginning of the stream, and he said, well, Nikki, she knows it's over. If she knows it's over, she wouldn't be driving around like that. Someone said it's a 69. I don't, it's a nice car. I like it. But the only woman that would be driving around with me in that car alone would be my wife or my daughter. If I had a cool ride like that, or if I was just driving my Kia around and I had a woman in it that wasn't my daughter or my wife, and my wife at night and the windows are fogged up, what would you guys think? What would you guys think? Oh, my goodness. But Nikki Haley here, that whole incident with the Mustang shows that she is out of touch with reality. All right, now, this happened on the campaign trail yesterday. She's in this restaurant and got the cameras going, and a guy comes up to her and asks her a question.
Good to see you. Nice to see you, Dean. Oh, I love that. We don't get out and vote on Tuesday. It's important.
Yeah. So, can I ask you just like a tiny question?
Yeah.
Do you think it's responsible for politicians to spend like $100 million in Iowa on TV ads, which go to mainly news stations that have lied to us for years, when there's homeless veterans out there that could use that money? When you didn't even come close to beating Trump, and you spent like $100 million in TV ad money?
Do you know my husband's a veteran?
That's fine, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, we know your husband's a veteran. You were having sex with men other than him while he was either deployed or sitting at home taking care of your kids. Yeah, we know about your husband. Do you know about your husband, Nikki?
Do you know that when the media doesn't tell the truth, the whole reason you put commercials on is to tell the truth, because the media doesn't?
My point is, you're not going to beat Trump. And all of the money you're wasting could go to better causes.
I appreciate
that. Would make the Republican Party actually look
better. You know what? Last I saw, it was a democracy. So we're going to keep working for a good democracy. We're going to work for freedom, but thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. Yeah, that's right. Yes. Oh, boy. You think she means that? Oh, my goodness. You know, I can read people pretty well, and what I do not see with her is any reality whatsoever of the situation that is going on. And, you know, Nikki Haley, she has had embarrassing moment after embarrassing moment, just like Ron DeSantis. Both Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley have run the most devastating, self-destructive campaigns in the history of campaigns. I mean, both of them, neither Nikki Haley or Ron DeSanctimonious has had one day that was a positive news day for them. They all, both of them have just had disaster after disaster. Now, President Trump not just has won the nomination. I mean, that's already a given. You know, and, you know, he said last night he's 60 points ahead, but you have to run like we're a point down. I think we need to run like we're 60 points down, not ahead. Okay. And because President Trump, he's not just running for president for the surface things like saving our nation, you know, closing the southern border, deporting the illegals and draining the swamp. President Trump is running for president to save American civilization, which is on the verge of being wiped out by these leftists and their uniparty collaborators, right? You know, I don't need to go through a list. You know what's going on. So CNN yesterday, they had Christine Amanpour on, who's a real beaut, and she's talking to foreign journalists about the return of Trump to the White House. And we'll watch this a little bit.
Emily Maitlis, who covers politics and America on her podcast, and Mark Landler, London bureau chief for the New York Times. Welcome, both of you.
Thanks, Christiane.
Okay,
Thanks for having us.
you know, we're a few days since Iowa and a few days, you know, before New Hampshire.
That's right. This English accent makes her liberal crap sound a little more intelligent, but it really doesn't.
Cannot deconstruct the minds of the American voters. But how, Mark, is the world reacting to Trump's blowout in Iowa?
Okay. Now, before we hear the answer of these foreigners, my hope is that the world's pissed off. If you've got Europe that gave us the Inquisition, 2 world wars, the Holocaust, this fake war in Ukraine, and all these other things, slavery in the New World, Europe, what good has come out of here? You don't want these foreigners to approve of our president. They want some deep state donor, military industrial complex person like Nikki Haley, that they can buy. So these foreigners and these liberals that are look at that look on Christine Amanpour's face, the disapproval she has towards Trump. Whenever she leaves CNN, maybe she can join the coven over on The View.
Well, I think, Christian, you'd have to say that the world has been looking for reasons to reinforce
this guy, New York Times London bureau chief.
A conviction that I found in talking to people in a lot of countries, which is that there's an inevitability to Trump being not just the nominee, but being restored to the White House.
That's right.
I think for a lot of people outside the U.S., they looked at this with a sense of dread, but not surprise.
Dread? What are they dreading? What, is this guy from the New York Times talking about the globalist elite from Davos? Who's he talking about? Who's dreading the return of Trump?
Because I think there's been a great sense that this is going down a certain track, and that's right. One more
America
off-ramp
first.
That we've now avoided.
America's
New Hampshire
coming
will
back.
be the next off-ramp. So that's my sense of it, that there was no surprise, almost a reaffirmation of a fatalism that exists around the world that Americans are going to reelect this.
Okay, can we be clear? Reelect?
This guy?
How? Why? Is that what you're picking up? Why would people, yes, that he's going to be the candidate, but automatically think he's going to be president again?
Well, I would go back to that result and what you called a blowout, which was 51% of the Republican vote for Trump. And I'd say the number here that people are actually looking at that is leaving people jaw-dropped is the 66% of Iowan voters who believe Donald Trump's lie.
Oh my goodness! So so this is an endorsement. So we have 3 liberal jerks, one from CNN, one from the New York Times. This woman and 2 of them with foreign accents, and they're in you can tell they're in a panic over the return of Trump. But the reason I shared that is the New York Times and CNN have conceded that President Trump is going to win re-election. And this is, I got to tell you guys, this is incredibly unprecedented. These leftist news outlets, even if the polls were like 99% in favor of the Republican winning, they never concede. In fact, if you go back to past elections, even on election day, they talk about CNN, for example, they love to do exit polls on election day, and the exit polls always predict a Democrat victory, okay? Because they don't want to depress any of their potential voters ever. So, for them to be predicting that Trump is going to win at this point is unprecedented. Let me play this next clip. Hold on, guys. Let me pull this back up. It won't let me play it. Hold on. I'll pull it back up again. This is it's really unheard of. Hold on, guys. Give me a moment.
Well, I want to play another portion.
Okay. Now this is beautiful. We're going to get George Conway, Lincoln Project, Kellyanne Conway, and this is MSNBC. And I want you to think about this, okay? Do you know who this girl is? Do you guys know who her daddy is? Who's this? This is MSNBC. She's going to introduce and talk to George Conway, biggest Trump hater on TV, right? She is the daughter of Goldbar Menendez. That's right. That is Senator Menendez, who takes bribes. That's his daughter. So, so they have his daughter on MSNBC with George Conway telling us what a bad guy Trump is. I wonder if that gold necklace was something her dad bought her with his bribe money. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Marion Singer, South Carolina.
Hey, Marion, South Carolina. How you doing?
Fine. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
I just want to say I've been listened to several prophetic words, and God's already chosen Trump anyway, and that's why this is going on, because God's on Trump's side.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling you now,
I agree. You're right.
And God has talked about all the evil. Oh, God, all the evil I know some of it, but I'm not going to say it on your...
Okay. Yeah, no, I would. Thank you for your call. I would agree with that. You know, when you look where Trump, what they've done to Trump since he came down the escalator with the lawfare and everything, and he's back, and you have these liberals conceding that he's going to win not just the nomination but the presidency, that's a miracle in itself. Now, so Goldbar Menendez, Senator Menendez, who takes bribes, his daughter is on MSNBC, and she's going to talk to George Conway, and they're going to talk about, Kellyanne Conway's, they're going to talk about what a bad guy Trump is, all right? They should be talking about her daddy and his bribes.
Well, I want to play another portion of that deposition because it informs how Trump thinks about his business, his worth, and his political success.
My most valuable asset, I didn't even include on your statement, and that's the brand. I didn't even include that. The brand, if I wanted to create a statement that was high, I would have put the brand on. If you look, I became president because of the brand. Okay? I became president.
That's right.
I think it's the hottest brand in the world. I think
Trump.
My brand value is probably my greatest asset, even though it gets tarnished by people like this suing me. Maybe it gets hotter.
Okay, so now we're going to get Goldbar Menendez, who takes bribes, allegedly. We're going to have his daughter with Kellyanne Conway's husband here. And Goldbar Menendez's daughter, whose last name is Menendez, she's going to tell us what a bad name the Trump name is. She's running around as Menendez, but that's a good name, right? The only Menendez I know was her brother and those guys that killed their parents in Beverly Hills back in the 90s. But the Trump brand, that's a bad name. Oh, hold on a second.
Attorney George Conway joins us now. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for getting early. Before we even get into
what happened, he's never been a handsome guy, but he looks a little strange there, doesn't he?
The merits of the value of his brand. What do you think of this as a legal strategy?
What is a legal strategy?
Running his mouth during a deposition?
There is no strategy. Right. Okay, everybody talks about him having a strategy. Right. It's like that quote I remember once in Politico a few years ago where they said, he's not, it was a blind quote from administration officials, says, he's not playing 17-dimensional chess. He's just eating the pieces. And that's what he's doing in the courtroom, in the Carroll case. That's what he's doing there. There
now,
is no strategy.
I want to go back to this panel. Let me go back here. Okay? Here you have a Trump hater. She worked for Biden at the White House and left, okay? Over here is Michael Steele, fake Republican Trump hater. And then you got her, whose dad takes bribes, Senator Menendez, right? And you got these people sitting around judging President Trump in his good name?
That's what he's doing there. There is no strategy. He's a psychopath. He's a sociopath. And if you look at the diagnostic criteria for a sociopath, they're purely impulsive. He acts instinctively. He has no real intellect. His intellect is reptilian in a sense. He's got a limited number of riffs. There's bullying.
Oh, my goodness. I know. There's no strategy. Yeah. Well, there is a strategy, and that strategy is make America great again. No doubt about it. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And everyone who's already subscribed, please like the video because that, of course, helps grow the channel. So if you're already sub, please like the video. That helps me out a lot. And those of you that are new, you'll really enjoy my content. I promise you. You know, these elites, look at this article. I saw this morning, and it really tells you. Survey, 2/3 of elites say there's too much freedom in America. Yeah, too much freedom in America. And that's because, why? Because Trump is so popular. Oh, all this freedom. All this freedom. Look, they love Trump. Look what they're doing. That's where their attitude comes. That's how they view us. Coolroy, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. Trump is saving the American dream. He sure is, Coolroy, and thank you for that super chat. He is saving us all. And this survey right here tells you how the Uniparty feel about us. The Pelosi's, the Bushes, the Paul Ryans, the Romneys. Right? Too much freedom, all this freedom, these people, you know. And you look at these polls that they like to share. They like to do breakdowns. Well, among college educated, bull crap. Okay? I went to college. I love Trump. Trump went to college. What they try to do is pass this narrative that those who are educated don't support Trump and those who are uneducated do. And there's too much freedom getting away with these uneducated people. And I got news for you. The MAGA voters, you guys out there, our MAGA brothers and sisters, are the most educated. I don't care if you dropped out of high school. If you are MAGA, you're the most educated group in this country because you understand what is going on, what the Uniparty is doing to us, what the Uniparty's goal is, and you understand what making America great is. Yeah, someone mentioned Hunter High. You know, Dr. Jill Biden goes around pretending to be a doctor, right? Jill Biden. She goes to Utah the other day, speaks at a high school, Hunter High School, and they have on the podium in front of her Hunter High. That's what's running our country. Her son Hunter that she raised, she's the stepmother, right, is a junkie, and she puts herself on a podium that says Hunter. Who would even go in her position, go to a place called Hunter High? You have to be a complete moron. I don't know if Jill going to Hunter High was stupidity or was just kind of like a shout out, like an FU to the country. I really don't know which it is. What would you guys guess? It's hard to say. It really is truly hard to say. Now, President Trump was just so good, so great last night, and I watched the whole thing on Right Side Broadcasting, and I hope you guys did too, because Right Side's awesome. And they're interviewing this guy. This is before the president came out, and this is in Manchester, New Hampshire, before President Trump's speech just last night. And this is wonderful. Watch this.
Coworkers, I mean, are they all on board with what you just said? Are they Trump supporters?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, what they're doing with this political persecution and this court nonsense or whatever, and pushing him, trying to take up all of his time, fighting with these indictments, it's all nonsense. And he's the guy that was getting things done for us. And
he was right the first time. Getting shit done. That's exactly right, sir.
He's the guy that was getting things done for us, and I think everybody's behind him.
Awesome. Kevin, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. I mean, that was just beautiful. Oh, my goodness. And listen, this is what we've woken up to. We've woken up to, when I say woken up to, the country has woken up that the Republican Party has been a fake party that's been lying to us. Now, I want to play this clip. You guys, everybody knows Patrick Bet-David, okay? He had Glenn Beck on, and Glenn Beck, this kind of ticked me off about Glenn Beck. And, Glenn Beck was a never-Trumper in the first campaign, and he was on with Patrick Bet-David. Benny Johnson tweeted this. I want you to listen to this, and then I want to ask you your something about it.
Last week, Donald Trump called me, and he said, any advice on who I should pick for vice president?
Oh, really?
Who do you think? Not that he's probably calling everyone.
But that's great.
Okay. Now, this is, again, Glenn Beck with Patrick Bet-David this week. What do you guys think about Glenn Beck talking about this phone call? And he'll go into what they talked about.
You're on that list.
And so he said, who do you think? And I said, I don't know how you're going to feel about it, but this is the day, I think it was the day he trashed Vivek. And I said, Vivek. And he said, why do you say that? He said, that's the number one response from everybody I've asked that question.
Okay. Now, this is something I've never seen someone do before. Usually what happens is somebody will say, hey, I know you talked to President Trump, and they usually say, yeah, and well, what did he ask you? What'd you guys talk about? And what they usually say, and this isn't just with President Trump, this is with all presidents, they usually say, well, we had a good conversation, but, I don't want to reveal publicly what the president talked to me about, right? How many times have you heard that? 1,001 if you've heard it once, right? And I've never seen someone brag about this. And I don't appreciate it. I really don't appreciate it. And, listen, President Trump, there's a lot of betrayers out there. You know, like Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. This guy was a never Trumper. And I often say never trust a never Trumper. And this bragging about this conversation that he had with President Trump, like President Trump cares enough about his opinion to call with such a thing. I don't appreciate that at all. And I saw this because I watch Patrick Bet-David. You guys probably do too. I like Patrick Bet-David. And I've met his guys that are on his team there that are with him at Turning Point. But this bragging of Glenn Beck is just never trust a never Trumper. This guy cannot be trusted. Now, you know, maybe the conversation happened exactly like that. Maybe he's embellishing a little bit. I don't know. But Sebastian Gorka was on with Eric Bolling on Newsmax a few days ago, and he asked, Eric Bolling asked Sebastian Gorka, do you know who he's going to pick? And he said that he did talk to President Trump, and President Trump told him who he's picking, but he didn't say the details like this. He says, I can't tell you. He says he said it's a man, and someone that no one's talking about right now. That's what Sebastian Gorka said. But he didn't get into the details of what, you know, of the conversation like Glenn Beck did. And me personally, I didn't like it. Did you? I mean, what do you guys think? Am I being too harsh on Glenn Beck? Now, if you'd like to support my content, which I hope you do want to do, go to mypillow.com and use my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And the great Mike Lindell has an incredible offer right now with my promo code Kane at checkout. Now, no matter what you want to buy at mypillow.com, you can use my promo code to take advantage of the special. But whatever you choose, you get the special discount, like the Mattress Topper 2.0 is 40% off right now with my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. But you also get free shipping. Free shipping on all items at mypillow.com with my promo code Kane, Kane. No matter how large or small, right? If you get the pet bed that's less than $20, you get the deal on the pet bed plus free shipping with my promo code Kane at checkout. And again, you can take advantage of all the specials at mypillow.com with my promo code Kane. And whatever you buy, you get free shipping with your order. Even if you're doing the coffee, if you're doing the kitchen towels, no matter what it is you buy, the body pillow, you get the discount plus free shipping with my promo code Kane at checkout. So when you do that, you're supporting the great Mike Lindell, and you're also supporting me and all of my content, which, I greatly appreciate, guys. Now, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. This is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk. I live stream 7 days a week. And anytime I'm live streaming, I take live calls on the program like I did this morning, okay? I also upload my podcast here that I co-host with my wife, Kathy, the Brian Craig Show podcast, which is on all podcast platforms, but the podcast is also available on my YouTube channel here. And I also do vlogging as well on my channel. So make sure you subscribe. You'll enjoy this channel, I promise you. Well, everyone, have a great day. My name's Brian Craig, and I we'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching.